Hello everyone, this is Chris from the Kaiju Kingdom podcast. I am still here in Japan. It is going on week 3 of this month-long trip. I got another 15 days left ahead of me as of the recording of this video. So today is a down day. I am resting up because I've been on nothing but a whirlwind tour of this beautiful country, seeing all the sights that there has to be seen, including a lot of Godzilla stuff, mainly the reason you're watching this video. So as I am sitting here in my teeny tiny room in the beautiful city of Osaka, that's right, I have left the megapolis that is Tokyo to see the rest of this place, and Osaka has been a delight. My goodness, is this place awesome. If you come to Japan, I highly recommend coming to Osaka. I got some good friends here who were very kind to show me around. That'll be in a couple of other videos, but today's video is because I got to go to none other than the Godzilla Zipline. Yes, I went to Awaji Island, I believe that I'm pronouncing that right, for the Godzilla Operation Interception attraction at the Awaji Island. I think it's a theme park. I've been, like I said, I'm still very tired. If you watched the recap of the Godzilla day I did, you saw me at my most tired. This is me actually getting some sleep and chugging one of these delightful Godzilla energy drinks. Because all you can get out here is Red Bull and Monster, and I'm not a big fan of those. So, the Godzilla Zipline. I know a lot of you have seen it, but a lot of you are always curious, like, man, if I can only go. Well, I got to go. So, the attraction is not far from here in the proud city of Osaka, but it is a little bit of a trek to get to. So that's what this video is going to run down. I shot a lot of video and took a lot of pictures of both the zip line and attraction. First things first, as you can tell, I'm a big boy. I clearly lost some weight hiking as much as I have in the last 18 days, but I am still not light enough to ride the zip line. So unfortunately, the zip line was out of the question, the physical act of zipping through Godzilla's mouth. But if you happen to be in that weight range, I think it's about 250 pounds, I would highly recommend it. So without further ado, let me break down this adventure. So yesterday I left here. I am in the Temu area of Osaka. So the beauty about Osaka, it is much smaller than Tokyo, so it's a lot easier to navigate in many aspects, especially by the train. So there is what they call the Osaka Loop, which goes around a big circle. You can get to just about any place you need to from that, at least walking distance or by another train. That has been the upside I have found being out here. But to my surprise, I was always under the impression that Awaji was fairly close to the city, and turns out no, it's not exactly close. So for sake of clarity, I did buy the Japan Rail Pass, which allows you to use the Shinkansen being the bullet train. So that did help cut down time a little bit on getting there. So if you're coming out here and you plan on going, just know that you're going to need to make a day of it. If you're based out of Osaka, if you're based out of Kobe, it's a little easier, but still not the easiest. So got up early. I had my ticket it was a Monday afternoon. You can buy the ticket online through the American Godzilla website. They do have a link. You just type in Godzilla Zipline and it'll get you there. And I bought my ticket a couple weeks ago before I came out here, knowing full well that was one of the big plans for this trip. So Shinkansen to Kobe. From Kobe, 2 more trains. Those trains took me to a bus station at the port of Awaji. I'm blanking on the actual location at the moment. But I must digress, because when you are traveling here in Japan, the beauty about this country is that there's so many things to see. So when I got off my first transfer, I was still in Kobe, and as I walked out from the first line from Kobe, which was the station where the Shinkansen went, to the second station, there was this beautiful map of the area, and what do my eyes behold? But there was the statue of Tetsujin 28, aka Gigantor, right around the corner from my train station. So I took a little detour, as you can see here. So I've so far seen 2 Gundams, and now I have seen this beautiful Gigantor statue. Oh, it was a beautiful sight to behold. I love my giant robots. So if you happen to be in the area, this is something I highly recommend checking out. There's a whole little Broadway walkway you can take up to. There's the lamppost have his head, and then he stands, God, he's at least 40 foot. He's a big boy when you see this thing in person. And he just stands in this park. Just kids playing around him. It's a joy to see. Even the police station around the corner had the Tetsujin head, as if, yes, I protect this town. So one of the big things about traveling in Japan, you never know what you're going to see. So from there, another train stop, and again, the little thing with this place, the further away you get from any of the big cities, English does become a little scarcer, so you kind of have to know what you're doing. Thankfully, both my friends here have been to the island, and they did give me a quick rundown. They were the ones that warned me, like, hey, this isn't a 5-minute jaunt. This is going to be a little bit of a trip. So this was the first time I've ever had to use the bus here in Japan, and I didn't use the bus last time. So my friends broke it down. It's not hard. If you have your Suica card or your Pasmo, which is a little card that you can get. In fact, here, I think I got it right here. So if you come to Japan, one of these bad boys is crucial, especially if you're using the subway. So when you get to whatever airport you come to, they used to be available at most of the subways, but I believe there is a shortage of the cards right now because of the chip that is used to read these. So I have been unable to find a new card in any of the stations. Now, there probably is some out there, I just have not seen them, but I will say this again. Airport, find the Suica machine, grab your card, and load it up. This thing is reloadable. You get 28 days use out of it. There are other ones. If you have an iPhone, that helps a lot. I don't have an iPhone. I'm not an Apple person. So you can put your Pasmo or your Suica card on that. There's a couple of other versions, but that is crucial because you need that for all the public transportation. Otherwise, you're going to be buying a ticket at every station you go to, and especially if you have to make a transfer, it becomes a bit of a nightmare. I did that last time, and my friend Helmy, bless his heart, had to wait for me at every station while I bought a ticket. It will save you time. It is a big time saver. So use my Pasmo to get on this bus. Now, here's the thing. Once you get to the area of Awaji, you get out of the train station, you hike up this gigantic bridge. Now, there are escalators and elevators everywhere, so it's not as hard as, say, going out to like one of the other islands where you have to hike stairs. But the thing is, you gotta wait for a bus, and buses run on very different schedules than the trains do. Train, you wait 5 minutes. You can get on a train that'll take you where you need to go. Bus, on the other hand, was a very different thing. I ended up sitting and waiting for about 45 minutes for the right bus to roll up and take me to the island. You cannot walk to the island. So it's over this gigantic Bay Bridge. It is akin to the Oakland Bridge in San Francisco, or the Vincent Thomas Bridge out in LA, where I'm from. There's absolutely no pedestrian walkway. Plus, you really don't want to walk. This thing is about 1.5 miles, almost 2 miles. It took a bit to get over this bridge, but once you're over it, it's gorgeous. You're going over this bay. You just see the Pacific Ocean as you approach the island. It just turns into this luscious green. Absolutely stunning. These are the little things you want to take into consideration when you come out here. So, finally arrived. Bus drops us off right at the entrance, if you will, of the theme park. And I say theme park very loosely, because this really wasn't much of a theme park, in as it's a collection of attractions in like a big public park. That's what this place really is. That's what kind of surprised me more than anything else, was that I was expecting a gate to walk up and pay. Now, there are other attractions here. There was a Monster Hunter attraction. There was a Dragon Quest, because Dragon Quest is very big out here. There's currently a Bleach, the anime and manga, which I attempted, but I was running low on time. I'm a big Bleach fan, but I was already pushing 2 o'clock by the time I got out to this place, and I left at 11:30. So you walk by a lot of the stuff. The attractions are in different sections. So when you walk up, there is a sign that gives you the location of the various attractions you can see. Thankfully, Godzilla was just a slight jaunt down a little hill. And when you... Alright guys, I made it to Awaji Island. So, you're watching this video, it's going to be a little jinky because I'm unable to record any narration, so you're going to hear the narration imposed. But just to give you an idea how gorgeous this place is, it's beautiful. We're out here on this island. Just take a look. So there is the Dragon Quest land, and I'm making my way to the Godzilla section right now. Walk up, there is this building that says Knee God, and that is the building where you go check in. So there was a nice woman that spoke very good conversational English. There were a few things that were lost in translation. It's the little idioms out here that if you're an English speaker, depending if you're American, Australian, or British, that do get lost in the translation. But basic English is spoken by most of the people at this place, which helps a lot. They built this place knowing full well that a lot of foreigners would be coming out. It's kind of the reason it's there. So walked up, gave the nice woman that was the attendee my ticket that I had on my phone. She gave me a collection of programs, which one is here, as you can see. It gives you a good map layout of the various things you can see and do. And there's a little kind of, a scavenger hunt thing you can do. I have found, especially at Disneyland, when I went to Tokyo Disney, scavenger hunts are kind of big things here. It's getting the stamp, getting the whole thing. It's a little fun thing you can do that actually costs next to nothing and really adds to your trip. So she also gave me one of these little pamphlets, and then a little collector card. And that's not the one. This is the one. So when you get your little package, depending on the package you buy, there are several packages. I bought I believe it's the gold tier package, which allows me to ride the zip line, play the shooting gallery, and then go into the museum. There are 2 packages above that. One gets you a tiny little Godzilla backpack as part of it, and the platinum package, you get a cool, pretty much Godzilla, a G-Force jacket. And I would have loved to have gotten that, but like I said, I'm a big boy. Japanese shirts and jackets do not fit me at all. Even if I was about another 100 pounds lighter, I'm still a very wide dude. So that's been the only disheartening thing, is there's so many cool shirts and apparel that I would love to buy while I'm out here, but nothing fits. It's something I found from some of my American friends that live out here. They're like, yeah, if you're a big guy, it's a little hard to find clothing if you really absolutely need it. So a lot of online ordering is in order. So, for lack of better terms. Anyway, sorry, I'm fiddling with all my stuff here. So you go in into this giant room, and there is a movie that they play. It's exclusive to the show. And what I'm going to do now is cut to me right after I walked out of that movie, because I was fresh in my mind, and I wanted to recap everything. So, cut to past Chris. All right, guys. I just went through the zipline area. Now, I'm clearly too big to actually ride the zipline, even by American standards. Maybe next time. But as you can see, it's massive. This is a beautiful day. I'm out here. It's Monday afternoon. And I just wanted to put some thoughts down for this video. So when you get here, you get dropped off on the bus, you walk down about 200 yards or so, and this park it's a park, but there's also attractions, and you can buy, I believe, a pass for everything or just for individual. I just bought for the Godzilla. I'm tempting to go do the Bleach one while I'm still here, but it was already a bit of a hike to get out here from Osaka. So the zip line is awesome. It's gigantic in person. So when you show up, if you buy your ticket online, you go to a building that's behind this Godzilla. There is people there that can speak English, conversational. And first thing they do, they give you a couple of tickets, ask if you're riding the zip line and what package you got, because if you buy the deluxe package, you get a little backpack with it. I opted not for the backpack. I don't really need it. And then when you go in, this thing I didn't know, much like the Godzilla ride up in Tokyo this evening, there is a pre-show. And the pre-show is awesome. So you go into this room. I was the only one because it's not busy here today. If you're going to come here, weekend is probably the best time to come. So pre-show sets up the attraction, and it's a 10-minute movie, and it's subtitled too. So they have English-speaking people in mind for this. So you go in, you watch the movie, which sets up this whole thing. And essentially, it's this science lady explaining the island, explaining the legend of Godzilla. There's a lot of cool art. They recreate, for a bit, the Toho Island Godzilla appearance, where he's peeking over the mountain, but it's with Shin. And the artwork is cool. Now, I wasn't allowed to take any video or pictures of all this, so it's one of those things you have to see for yourself. They're cool with pictures on some things and video on some things, but there are other places that absolutely not. So the movie then progresses to how Godzilla ends up like this, and there's a reason why he's like that, and it's pretty cool. Godzilla arrives here on Awaji, and it's essentially what they did with Shin Godzilla, where they're planning to lure him into a spot, trap him, and then dump cadmium down his throat and freeze him, and hence why he's supposed to be like that. So there's actually some brand new footage for this thing with a lot of recycled CG footage from Shin Godzilla, but it is spot on. It's actually a really cool short movie. You actually get to see Shin Godzilla swim, which was wild to me. The CG looked pretty great.
A lot of the other stuff was recycled from Shin Godzilla. All the big shots that you see in the movie, especially in the trailer. But when they get to the actual trapping Godzilla, as you see him here, so they blow up this crevasse, falls in, they get him trapped, and then Godzilla starts shooting off his focus beam, and you get to see some nice destruction. Some jets come in, they drop the cadmium down his mouth, and that's what freezes him. Hence why his mouth is open, and you zip line through it. And they explain for the attraction, the point is he's not dead, he's just currently inactive. So the point of the zip line and the shooting gallery, which you'll see some, either you saw footage or see footage after, depending how I'm doing this out of order, guys. But you have to pretty much help keep Godzilla inactive. This place is amazing. I paid roughly about $30 for the deluxe package because I'm about to go into the museum afterwards. But there is like a $70 package that gives you a coat, like a cool Engod coat. That's what they call it. Oh, you can hear the zip line go on behind me right now. I don't think you can see it, but like I said, there's not a lot of people here. I'm hoping to see some people go down the zip line. I saw a few come in, but this place is amazing. It is a little out of the way if you're in Osaka. I took the Shinkansen down here and then had to hop 2 trains, and it still took about an hour, and then you have to take a bus. So if you are not versed in Japanese, it's a little difficult, but it's not impossible. I'll explain more later in the video, but I wanted to get my thoughts on that movie before I forgot, because the movie was awesome. I wish I could have gotten some pictures and video for you guys, but not allowed. So we're going to continue forth, go look at the museum, and see what other goodies this place has to offer.
Well, there you go. So, without re-stepping on everything, movie is awesome. It's completely subtitled, like I said, so if you are not from here and don't speak Japanese, they made sure that if you're an English speaker, you have absolutely no problem seeing it. It's been fun to see that, along with the Seubin Godzilla ride that I rode last year. Just the little things that because Japan is big on keeping a lot of its secrets. They don't allow people to record a lot of things. There's plenty of places to take pictures, but the rule of thumb is they have to no picture, no video. They will let you know, and please abide by that. So, like I said, couldn't take any video of the thing, so I can't show you. It's one of those things that you have to come to experience, because they want you to experience this stuff. They want you to come. They want you here. Kind of want you to spend some money, which I did. But that makes it all the more special. It's something that you can only see there. It's going to live in your memory. It's going to be a good time. So once I was done there, they let me out, and across the way, there was the zip line. And the zip line is just this giant molded Godzilla. He's got his mouth open. It's the Shin Godzilla, and he is massive. He like rises up from out of the field once you approach him. So since I was unable to fit and ride the zip line, they do have another attraction at the actual zip line that you can do, which is a shooting gallery. So there are 3 or 4 booths, and since I was one of like 20 people here today, I kind of spent my time going through and playing it for a minute. So shot some video of that just to give you a quick rundown. Let's shoot to that. So as you can see, and I do apologize if the video looks a little janky, because a thing I found out here in Japan, they frown on the selfie sticks and the little tripods. So I couldn't really set up anything to get you guys a clear picture. So I do have a flip phone, so I put it up in the sitting position, so give you at least a decent idea of what the shooting gallery is like. So after the shooting gallery, just took so many photos and just enjoyed the wonder and majesty that is this enormous sculpture, and watched a few people actually zip through it. There were a couple people that showed up after me, who went through, and they had a good time. The thing is constantly roaring, and there's these, that, you know, as you heard in the shooting gallery video, there's these sirens constantly going off, so you can't miss it. After that, we walked back over across the way to this building that is adjacent to the theater that I walked into, and that right there is the Godzilla Museum. So it is part of the package. You get to go in, and inside is a ton of Godzilla stuff. Now, the building is not that big. I'm just warning you right now. It's about the size of a showroom, but inside they had various suits. And at this particular time, because it is the 40th anniversary of Godzilla vs. Space Godzilla, they had the Mothra and Space Godzilla suit on display. And man, they are holding up pretty well for 30-year-old suits. They look absolutely fantastic. I doubt they can be used anymore, but in preserved condition, they looked great. Along with a bunch of cool models and some awesome dioramas, and I'm just gonna let the video speak for itself for the next couple of minutes. So once you finish with the museum, and this is a lesson I learned the hard way because I kind of ran through the first time around taking that video. It's an in-out. You can't just kind of circle around. Now, once you're in the museum, you can stay in there as long as you want. And the beauty was, since there was no one there, I got all that awesome footage and video you just saw. But I kind of skipped through it little too fast the first time. So when you exit, there's a couple of workers. They're in like some rain gear looking stuff, and you walk into this room where they have the Final Wars Godzilla suit set up, and it's on a platform, and they have a couple of cameras. Now, I couldn't shoot any video or take any pictures in this. They were very strict on that. Again, it's part of the experience. They want you to have fun with that. I do have some proof of it, though. So you go in, you sit down, they take a picture of you in the director's chair, and then you go up and you take a little video. I have yet to get the video. I don't think they've uploaded yet as of the recording of this. I'm hoping that it goes into whatever cloud server in the next day or so I can grab it. They said that you got about 30 days to nab it, but when you walk out after taking the video and picture, it's like Disneyland. There's the guy there, gives you one of these little things, upsells it to you. Now, it was 3,000 yen. If you're just paying in yen, it might seem a little bit, but with the exchange rate right now, it's pretty cheap, and I couldn't say no. So they give you this nice little folder that on the inside has a bunch of Godzilla storyboards, and then there is the picture I got to take. So there's me in the director chair, there's me with Godzilla. So it's a whole thing, and I happily paid for this because that's a good memory right there. If you're a Godzilla fan, this is exactly the kind of thing that you want. It's a nice little keepsake, especially if you're not going to buy anything from the gift shop or anything. This is going to be a one and original just for you to remember, your trips, your better times. So I got one. And let me show you. Just get up there a little bit. Let me see if you can see that. Yeah. So like I said, 3,000 yen. Well worth it to me. It's on the photo is a nice glossy photo, as you can see. Look at that. Look at my ugly sweaty mug right there. So from there, they did allow me to be fair, they did allow me to go right back through the museum, as there was like no one there. If you go on Friday or Saturday, it's a little more crowded from what I was told. And the Hamataro Godzilla is out there in the suit, so you can take pictures and meet him if you want. The day I went, there was like no one there. Now again, this place is essentially a big park across from the Godzilla experience. It's just this giant open field, and kids are playing soccer. There's picnic areas, there's little playgrounds. It's essentially like someone took a public park and then put a bunch of attractions you pay for. It's kind of wild and mind-blowing to me, just the way it's set up. I guess that's kind of a thing out here. I'm not sure, but it does. Even if you just want to go hang out, have a little picnic, oh, it's perfect. It's when I went yesterday, it was about 65 degrees, a little bit of cloud coverage, but gorgeous. You're right on the water, so as the sun went down, it started getting cold. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a big dude, and I've been enjoying this weather out here, but it got chilly. So if you come in the fall, winter time, I would say dress accordingly. I've not been out here in the summer, and everyone tells me it is hot and miserable, so plan ahead. But from there, move next door. There is a gift shop, which I shot a little bit of video because I wasn't sure on how cool they were with shooting video, but no one said anything. So as you can see here, various photos and other things from the gift shop. Just let that run for a second. Now you might be asking, hey Chris, I know you bought something. Well, you're right, I did. So, because I am still here for another 2 weeks, I didn't bring a lot of luggage. It's part of my own way of making sure I'm not overbuying and not going over my budget every day. I kept things small. So, at the shop, first thing I noticed was there was some exclusive merch that I have not seen in any of the other Godzilla stores. So I bought a set of postcards. So this is part of the artwork that is featured in the video. So they show you this in the video. It's kind of all over the place. In fact, on the back of the cards, every time you do one of the missions, the zip line, the shooting gallery, they give you these cards, and on the back is a diorama kind of thing that you put together. I didn't get all the cards because I didn't do the zip line, but they make one of the, they actually make, had it here. They make one of the art pieces that you can buy in either in a postcard, or you can do like what I did. You can buy the clear files. So Japan loves their clear files. They are very organized people. But these make great pieces of artwork to hang up. So I plan on framing these when I get home. So the artwork on this is absolutely stunning. I love them to death. And so this is a bigger one. And clear files are relatively inexpensive to get. These were about, I think, 600 yen a piece, which is nothing. So even if you're budget conscious, there's still some fun stuff you can walk away with here that is still very exclusive. And the other postcards, which they had these in a on canvas, which I was very tempted to buy because they were only about 3,000 yen a piece for the smaller ones. But again, getting those around, I got 2 more hotels to go to while I'm still here, and I'm worried that those things will get crushed. So they got this wonderful inkwork style, which I'm a fan of. If you watched one of our past videos, especially the Godzilla Kong theater merch that my good buddy Kazuki, which will be brought up late in some other videos, sent me, you saw the Godzilla Kong one. So I got a couple of these. These were 160 yen a piece. Absolutely nothing. You can get the whole set for like under $5. So I got those, and then they had these beautiful coasters. that are heavy duty and in the inkwork style. These were only about, I think they were about 800 yen. Actually, no, they were 730 yen. So with the exchange rate right now from dollars to yen, these were nothing. So I picked up one for me and one for a friend. After that, it was moving on. Next door, there was a food court. I managed to get a little bite to eat. I got some video of that, so I'm going to roll over there. All right, so I'm wrapping up my day, and I got a little something before I go home. So they're doing a Bleach themed event here too. So I'm not sure exactly what this is, but it looked good. But the big thing is this cool Godzilla beer. Not sure if it's a lager or not, but I had to try the Godzilla beer. So let's see how it looks. Oh, it's dark. I think it's an IPA. Yeah, it's an IPA. Not a big IPA guy, but Rome, come by. Not a bad day. Let's see how this thing is real quick. Cooking. Pretty good. Gross. And yes, before you do ask, the chicken was good, but the big thing, where'd it go? I did keep the beer bottle. So here it is up close. I wrenched it out, put it away because, you know, I like to keep decanters and stuff like that. As you saw in the video, wasn't the biggest fan. It's an IPA. I'm not an IPA guy. It's a little hoity-toity for me, but the artwork on it is quite cool. Apparently this beer is brewed on the island, so it's kind of a joint venture kind of thing. Still cool. This is going to go on my shelf at home. Stuff like this I kind of love more than getting action figures from time to time. As I get older, it's this kind of stuff that, you know, is going to fall by the wayside, and, you know, a lot of people are going to throw this away. So holding on to one of these, that's more of the big deal for me. So overall, the day was gorgeous. A little bit of advice. So like I said at the top, if you come out here, it's a lot easier if you're based out of Osaka. If you're in Tokyo, this is a long trip. You would need the Shinkansen to get here within a day. The trip from Tokyo to Osaka alone is about 2.5 hours by the Shinkansen. You can always fly, but that's going to cost you just as much. And the Shinkansen is not cheap, even by the standards of the exchange rate. Like I said, I opted for the Japan Rail Pass, which is something that is offered to foreigners out here. So if you're coming out for an extended amount of time and really want to see the country, I do recommend getting the Japan Rail Pass. You can get it for 7, 14, or 21 days. It will be costly, but it will be worth it. I've already made good use of it. I'm making more use of it in the next week as I get towards the end of this trip. I'm heading to Fukuoka tomorrow as of this recording. That's another 2 hours south of here by the train alone. 2 hours. By car, it's like 4.5 hours. And then going to Kyoto, I will be going up to Fukushima once I'm back into the Tokyo area, and maybe Nagoya, a couple of other places. So if you plan on spending some time, pay the money. It's worth it. I paid $500 for my 14-day pass, and some of you might be going, ugh. But I highly recommend using it. The beauty of that JR Pass is that a lot of the subway lines are ran by JR, so you can use that pass as well for some of the local lines. Not all of them. just the ones run by JR, including the buses as well. So it has saved me some money because the loop out here is ran by JR. So I have been saving some bucks not using my Suica Pass. But if you want to get that, you can make it in a day trip from Tokyo. It's going to be long, but I do recommend it. Expect a good 2.5 to almost 3 hour trip if you're coming from Tokyo. From Osaka, even with the JR, it was still about 90 minutes to get there. And that is not including waiting for the bus. That is the big key, is look at the bus schedule, because there are several buses that come through and you really need to know which one. I actually had to ask several bus drivers who let me know, and they kind of wrote down, but since I don't read or speak Japanese, it was a little hard. But mine was the blue bus set for Awaji Island, and the first drop is there at the theme park. Once you're getting ready to leave, depending on the time of day that I have found out from other friends that have gone there and other people I've talked to online, well, there's a tram. There's a couple of trams. They have a little Godzilla tram that will take you around the park to the other sections. And there's also a tram that will take you to the bus stop. They will not take you back over the bridge. They will only take you to the bus stop. And even from there, it's a tiny bit of a hike. So they drop you off in this parking lot. You go under a tunnel and up these stairs, and you're literally on the edge of the highway. And you just kind of sit there and wait for the bus. That bus will usually drop you off at the train station that you arrived at for said bus over. So those were the longest waits of this entire thing. And like I said, later in the evening, it got quite cold. So I was sitting out there freezing. So I would recommend, if you're coming out here in the winter months, dress accordingly. That is the most important thing of them all. But I do recommend, if you're a Godzilla fan and you're coming to Japan for any extended amount of time, go out of your way. Go see this thing, because it is awesome. Don't expect a huge theme park-esque attraction. It was actually very quaint, like I said. But for just a day to walk around, the weather is gorgeous out there. Check the weather though, because you are on an island. You are off the Pacific Ocean, so the weather can be a little incremental. But make the time. The different of each of the little sections, they do charge. I believe there is an overall ticket you can buy to go to everything. If you don't want to go to everything, you can pick a la carte. I just did the Godzilla. So, like I said, Godzilla.com. It'll take you there to get you your tickets. And then, just map it out. Google Maps out here is your friend, and it will help you get there. So, with that, that is my day trip to Awaji Island for the Godzilla Operation Interception. Fantastic day. Part of this month-long journey I have been on out here in Japan, and I hope all of you that are watching this can one day come and witness it, just for the little movie alone, which was about 10 minutes long, but absolutely stunning. So with that, wrap up this video. If you like what you see, we do have a show. It's called the Kaiju Kingdom Podcast. You can find us at thekaijukingdompodcast.com. Or if you don't like to download, you can always stream us on all of your favorite podcast streamers, including Apple, Spotify, or wherever else you might find better podcasts. We're also on social media. We're still out here in Japan till the 3rd of December. You can follow our adventures on there. We are on Instagram, X, and Facebook.com. So give us a follow there. And if you like this video, please subscribe for more. I got a lot more I'm catching up on. So in the next month or so, believe me, it's going to take me some time to get through a lot of this stuff. Just hang here and you'll see more of our adventures from Japan. On that note, that will wrap up this edition of the Kaiju Kingdom Podcast. It's not really an episode. This is a little on location kind of thing. Thanks for watching, guys. And we'll see you next time.